Alright, what's up everybody? I know I said I was gonna come out with the Jets prediction on Thursday. It's now Friday, 2 in the morning, so I'm not gonna try to make too much noise. Most of my family is asleep right now. But the reason why I didn't put it out had a lot of stuff to do. Had a lot of stuff to do when I got up. I don't wanna get into that. But I wanna get into the Jets schedule right quick. Now, before I say this, before I do the schedule, I'm gonna just say what I gotta say. And you know the first thing I'm gonna say: like the video, comment on the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. That's Insane Sports Comedy. Three simple six-letter words. Ain't that hard to search up. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Search Insane Sports Comedy. Check for the the Uno wild card logo shit, whatever. Yeah, I might change my profile picture in a minute, like when the summertime get here. But right now I'm gonna just rock how I'm rocking. Right now we're doing this is the last AFC East team I'm doing. So tomorrow I'm gonna do a video on the AFC East and how I think 2020 is gonna look for that division. Right now I'm gonna get straight to this Jets schedule. Week 1 at the Bills. On the Bills schedule, I predicted this a loss for the Jets. And I'm sticking with that because this Jets team is nowhere near ready for this season at all. At all. I mean, they're ready to have a quarterback. Their quarterback and their offensive line, they've prepared that. You have Le'Veon Bell at running back. But other than just running the game, Sam Darnold throwing is not going to get you anywhere at this point. Especially not in this division, especially not in the AFC. Because in your division, you have Buffalo and Miami going at it, and New England is still a huge threat to the Jets. Even without Tom Brady, they are still a huge threat to the Jets. I think the only team that the Jets don't threaten at this point, I think the only team that aren't a threat to the Jets at this point would be a team looking for the draft, and that's why I'm gonna predict this the way I predict this. So just check this. So we have a loss week 1 at the Bills. Week 2, they have to host the 49ers. Their first home game is against their first home game is against the team that was just in the Super Bowl. Not the way you want to start the season. So there's an L there to the 49ers, 0-2. Week 3, they go to Indianapolis to face the Colts. Not gonna lie, this Colts team is stacked. They have Phillip Rivers. They have Jacoby Brissett to back them up. I'm sure they have Jacob Eason. The Colts are stacked at almost every position. I don't think the Colts are gonna win the AFC South this year. They could. I'm not gonna lie. They could. I just don't think they will. Well, but one thing they will do is beat the Jets week 3 at home. So we have a 3-game loser streak. So the Jets come home against the Broncos. Now I've said so much about the Broncos. I've said how their defense is incomplete. But the Jets are so one-dimensional. They're going to be running the game so much, and the Broncos are going to be running the game so much. It's just going to be run versus run. And whenever you see a lot of running, you always see a lot of front seven action. And the Jets front seven maybe more fresh, but I don't think they're going to be as well coached. Adam Gase did a good job in his first year as head coach. This might be the year that will make or break him. And I think it might break him because, people don't give Adam Gase the credit he deserves, really. I understand the Jets didn't have a winning record last season, but he tried. And he got some things done, even with a 7-9 record. He took them to, he put them in position to actually have a season to reflect on. This season is just going to be a season to just forget about, I think, for the Jets. And that's why I think they're going to lose to the Broncos. The Cardinals, second straight game at home, they lose that. DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald on the Cardinals offense along with Kyler Murray. The Jets might be able to pressure Murray. Chances are they might not. One thing we do know that Jets secondary gives up a lot of catches, and the Jets give up a lot of points. And it's usually not because of their front seven. It's usually because of their weakened secondary. Now they have Jamal Adams. But I don't trust their cornerbacks. They're gonna get beat deep by either DeAndre Hopkins or Larry Fitzgerald. So I have 0-5 for the Jets. Week 6, going to LA to face the Chargers. The Chargers is the one team I think I predicted to be very malleable this year. But even they're going to beat the Jets, so that's a 6-game losing streak. And yes, I think the Jets are going to start out losing pretty much every game within the first half of the season. Week 7, they host the Bills. I think they lose that game as well. Even though they're home, it would be their 4th straight home loss, their 7th straight loss overall, simply because at this point in time, Adam Gase is not going to have a passing game. You know, all of his pass protection is going to be used on run plays, so you only have run protection. Your pass protection is going to be useless. Your offensive line is going to get tired, and the Chargers and the Bills pass rush. They don't beat every O line, but they do beat a tired O line. And and if I'm not mistaken, I think the Jets were the team with one of the most injuries, were one of the most injured teams last year. So if that trend continues this year, especially on the offensive line, that is definitely going to hurt the Jets. There is a way that the Jets could probably beat the Bills at home. The only way that happens is if the Bills literally just let Le'Veon Bell run all over them. Because Sam Darnold's not going to beat them. No, he's not. 0-7. Week 8, they go to Kansas City to face the Chiefs. Come on. You really think they're going to win that? Week 9 against the Patriots. Now, the Patriots is a team that I dislike more than any other team. Jets are on an 8-game losing streak. As much as I would like to see the Jets beat the Patriots at home, it's not going to happen. So that's a 9th straight loss. In Miami against the Dolphins. 10th straight loss. I'll tell you why. When you look at the AFC East, the Bills have a smart defense. The the Patriots have one of the smartest defenses. Um, both of these defense, I feel like these defenses are gonna butt heads because they're very young and very vibrant. But the Dolphins' defense is more fast. I feel like at this point they'll be more sophisticated. And going into the bye week, the Jets will have a 10-game losing streak. So their first win won't come until after the bye week, week 12, hosting the Dolphins at home. I feel like the Jets won't have to face anyone else before they go back to facing the Dolphins. I think that's the only way they beat Miami at home, and I think it's gonna happen because especially with a rookie quarterback like Tua. Let's face it, this Dolphins team, they get overconfident, especially when they win. They love getting overconfident, especially for a team that doesn't make the playoffs. This is gonna be that game where the Dolphins really get exposed by the Jets. Um, uh, I'll tell you 3 teams that won't get exposed by the Jets. The next 3 teams on the schedule: Raiders, Seahawks, and Rams. I predicted those all to be losses. Week 13, hosting the Raiders, definitely a loss. It'll be the first time that the Las Vegas Raiders visit MetLife Stadium as a Las Vegas team. Everyone in New York is going to be hyped to see this new team from this new city. But it's not even just going to be that. The Raiders, I mean, the Jets are an unsolved puzzle, and the Raiders are a broken, and the Raiders are a, basically a broken amulet. And basically, once the pieces of this amulet is put back together, they'll have the powers to probably take over the division, probably take over the AC, probably take over the league. And the golden days, or should I say the silver days, the golden days of the silver and black may return to the present. Would it be 2020? No, I think it might be 2024, maybe 2025. Because the Raiders, let's face it, they need a lot of time to really even think of themselves before they even think of themselves that way. So I have the Jets 1-11 in their first 12 games, only winning one of their first 12 games. Their next 2 games, they have to go to Seattle and then go to LA again to face the Rams. So they're out in the West Coast. They're getting away from all the cold weather because remember, in October, later in the season, well, September in Buffalo is not going to be, it probably would be fairly warm. Kansas City in October is not really the most pleasant time or pleasant place to play. Other than that, they have fairly good weather, what should I say? But being in that tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, You know, the weather the weather could be so turbulent. I feel like it could be so up and down, but forget the weather. Forget anything about the weather. Week 14 in Seattle. If it ain't cold, it's gonna be raining anyways. And Seattle at home has a huge advantage, especially against the Jets. I don't remember the last time the Jets got a win against the Seahawks in Seattle, but if it does happen again, it won't happen this year. The Seahawks are gonna get their W, and the Jets are gonna have to take the big fat L, walking out of Seattle, going into LA with another L against the Rams. So at this point, the last 2 weeks of the season, I predict the Jets to be 1-12 at this point. At this point, the Jets will be no, that would be 1-13. I'm sorry. So at this point, at 1-13, the Jets will be looking to tank. First of all, after going 0-10, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to do the Jets like this, but I don't see where are they gonna win? Where are they gonna win? Okay, I'm not even gonna double back on my predictions. Maybe I was a little harsh on losing all the first 10 games, but I don't see like Bills, the 49ers, the Colts, the Broncos, the Cardinals, the Chargers, the Bills again, the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Dolphins. Other than maybe going off the nostalgia of a Bills rematch, and maybe if the Broncos and Chargers are broken down enough, okay, you have 3 more wins. That still gives you no more than like maybe 4 wins at that point. But still, I mean, but if it goes like I predicted, 0-10, if you're at 0-10, that's 0-10. The Jets are gonna be 0-10. 0-10. Oh, I cracked myself up. Anyways, week 16 against the Browns, I think they win this game. The Browns are a very, very distracted team. Do I think the Browns are this low to lose against the Jets? Yes, late in the season, because late in the season is usually when the Cleveland Browns also realize that they too won't be successful. That they too won't be successful. The Brown season could play differently, but even if that happens, the Jets and the Browns were neck and neck far too many times. Far, far, far too many times. Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield's first career win as a starter was against the Jets at home. If I'm not mistaken, but he won't win this time. The Jets are gonna win that game, and they're gonna lose Week 17 against the Patriots. So I predicted the Jets. Listen to this: 2 wins. The Jets are gonna win 2 games in 2020, both after the bye week, both after the 10-game losing streak. What have I done? What have I done? Good Lord, I have given up on the Jets. I have given up. You every chance they had to be an 8-8 or further team, they missed it. They, in the offseason alone, they screwed themselves. If they even get help now, they're only going to want players who are aging or players who are going out of style. I mean, it's over for the Jets. It's over. 2-14 for the Jets. That's my prediction. And that would be dead last in the AFC East. Probably dead last in the AFC. I don't know if the Jets will have the first overall pick with 2-14, but damn it, they're gonna need it. And 2-14, we've only seen, just in this past season, we've only seen one team do worse, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. And they just got Joe Burrow first overall. Not to mention they got some other draft additions. But the Bengals still aren't perfect either. The Bengals could do just as bad as this record, if not worse. The Bengals might be number 1 overall pick 2 years running. I mean the Browns did it. The Browns did that's another team who might be going down this direction. Maybe they won't. I think the Browns might actually get some wins if everyone stays healthy. But if everyone stays healthy, would they make the playoffs? Not guaranteeing it. Will the Jets make the playoffs? Hell no. Hell no, it's not gonna happen. So there's my prediction: Jets 2-14. And looking at the entire AFC East, I have the Buffalo Bills at 10-6 to win the division. and to make the NFL playoffs. The Buffalo Bills are going to make the playoffs for the second straight season for the third time in 4 years with Josh Allen. And they might get a playoff win depending on who they're facing. If they have to face the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Texans or the Titans, round one, they're done. If they face the Colts and the Colts wind up being a playoff team, maybe you have some fortune there. If they wind up facing the Jaguars again, if the Jaguars somehow becomes a playoff team and the Jaguars wind up beating them again, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Buffalo. But I have Buffalo Bills 10-6 making the playoffs. I have the Miami Dolphins going 8-8, second place in that division. They're gonna be in the hunt as the Dolphins usually are in most seasons. In most recent seasons, I see the Dolphins possibly trying to get a playoff spot, but not quite making it with the 8-8 record. And even then, an 8-8 record does you no justice in the playoffs. You have no advantage whatsoever. Literally, you don't even have an advantage in the win-loss column. It's just, no. I don't think the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs 8-8. I think the Bills are going to be the only team making the playoffs out of this division. It damn sure won't be the Patriots. I predicted the Patriots 6-10, and I predicted the New York Jets to be 2-14, bottom feeders as the Jets usually are. Now, let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my predictions. I have finished all the AFC East schedule predictions. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do a review on the latest trends in this division overall and how I think this division is gonna do in 2020. So tomorrow, we're gonna talk AFC East 2020. As far as tonight, this is ISC Dee Hinton signing off. And again, I apologize for the lateness.